I blame Taylor. Here we go. Here we are on episode 91 of the Trash Talk Business Podcast. As always, we are here to talk about growing, scaling, building your junk removal dream, now coming to you hot and fresh in 2024. As always, I'm joined by my good buddy and friend for the next 5.5 days, Casey Bubba Lawrence. Casey, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we have two guests. One I don't know very well, and the other one is named Meghan. And me and her go way back, known her for years.
Yeah, about 30 seconds.
I'll tell you all about what she does and why she does it, though, just because for respect, right? And then we'll get to know this new Andrew guy later on.
So this is our quarterly market update with Andrew Barten, Mr. Andrew Barten of Barten Bros Junk Removal. Are you a Jets or Giants fan, Barten? You're a Giants fan, right? We talked about
I'm
this.
a Bills fan all day, bro.
Oh, wow. Bills fan.
My
NFC
whole life.
East.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, we did talk about that. I think last time I thought it was Jets or Giants. Go downstairs real quick. In Casey and Alex's office, there's a stack of 6 hats. Look like this. Go grab those. All right. See, we're making things up as we go. We got fucking ops guy, like a new guy, Mike. Good shit. All right. So the Bills made it into the playoffs. More importantly, go Bills. Bills are my AFC team. My grandfather played for the Bills. I think we did talk about that. However, there's a little football game coming up on Sunday. The Green Bay Football Packers traveling to the Mike McCarthy-led, donut-eating Dallas Cowboys. Currently, the Packers are on a 4-game win streak against the Cowboys, including a playoff win. No big deal. Casey, any commentary on that?
Yeah, technically speaking, Aaron Rodgers is on a 4-game winning streak against Cowboys.
Fair.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Packers,
something.
sorry. Everybody was like, oh, the Packers are our kryptonite. I was like, fuck, they are. Aaron Rodgers is our kryptonite. He makes these stupid throws that just happen to land in people's arms last second. I was like, that's Aaron Rodgers. That's not the Packers.
It's true. It's true. All right. Now that we will get back to that. However, we have a more special guest. Not that Andy Barten isn't special. Meghan, I met Meghan via the UPS ground about an hour ago. So package came earlier today. I hate checking the mail. And I was like, oh, hi, Mr. Bright Green Box. And sometimes people send me stuff, right? Like, that's pretty dope. And I'm like, hey, I'm all about the free swag life, right? Like, we talk about marketing all the time. Andy Barten, who's a huge marketing guy, right? Give first. It's all about giving first. Give people a reason to give you a call. So Meghan here shot me over. Oh my God. See, I'm repacking the box on the fly. So I'm so happy. So happy right now. All right. There we go. First time ever I'm opening this box. Right? Anyhow, I can't say that because I'm wearing one of the hats. Anyways, Meghan hooked us up with some Camo Crew swag. 2 hats like this. 2 hats in the OCP. 2 hats in the woodland camo, and she doesn't even know. I'm gonna tell a little story about this in a second. And coffee tumbler, because you can't have enough tumblers in your life with their logo on it. I like it. So here's my story about the hats. I wear a OCP hat. So OCP is this for military types. OCP, multi-cam. Okay, it's called operational camouflage pattern. OCP, right? We call it multi-cam.
He's a fucking admin guy.
I'm not an admin guy. I got a desk. I got a laptop. I know things and shit. I know regulations. No big deal. I'm not a grunt. Casey's a grunt. Anyhow, so 2 years ago, when we got a new logo, I ordered hats in woodland camo from this guy, and because I wear woodland camouflage, right? Those are the pants, and woodland camouflage is the official camo pattern of Camo Crew Junk Removal because it's the only pattern that all 4 branches of service, including the Coast Guard, all wore at one point, and none of them currently use. So you can't have this like stolen valor situation going on, right? The guy sends me hats, 25, 30 hats, whatever we order, all in OCP. He's like, oh, it's a lot cooler. I was like, I don't care that it's cooler looking. I hate it. I was so irritated. I'm also frugal, so I didn't buy new hats. I just wore for the last year and a half. And as of an hour ago, I have a new hat. No big deal. So Meghan, you are the official sponsor. Every week we have an unofficial sponsor, and it's normally whatever hat Casey's wearing. What are you wearing today, Casey? I don't know.
Ducks Unlimited.
Texas? Ducks Unlimited. Okay, yeah. So we can't get like real money from people. So this is the first official. Yeah. Well, we've had people offer money to us, but they also told us what we couldn't say. So that didn't fly. They told us we couldn't have people like Andy Barton on the show, which respectfully, it's understandable. So anyways, so Gator Garb. Megan, tell us all about Gator Garb. She's not even in my market. She randomly, allegedly, she wrote a nice note like, "Yeah, I see your truck's all over Eau Claire. Eau Claire's like 2.5 hours from me, and we go up there like twice a year." So, Megan, the show is yours.
The trucks.
Fair. That's fair. I ain't mad at you. I'm kind of impressed.
Thanks for the opportunity. I love it. It was a pleasant surprise. I was just going to follow up with you, tomorrow probably, but I got a phone call and a text from you, so this is awesome. So we are a promotional products company. We try and focus and pride ourselves on some trendy, forward-thinking apparel, hats, try and think out of the box. But like I said in the note that I wrote to you, Andy, I literally had seen your chucks like for a week straight on my way to daycare drop off, on the way back from work, all this. And it was like back and forth for a week straight. And I put it on my list and like, they probably need hats. So I made them some hats, and hats came in. And I actually also had that tumbler is a veteran owned company, Patriot. So I was like, well, this could work pretty well. So I threw that in there and a couple other things in there. And I just wanted to reach out and show you a few things of what we do. We typically lead with hats just because they're pretty creative. And who doesn't like getting sweet swag in a box, right? It's a great surprise, and it's probably going to get worn. So that's where we're at.
No, absolutely. And the thing about this hat in particular that I really like is the fact it's got a logo in a fake pot.
Like subdued.
Whatever. So yeah, but it's like the faux leather, right? It's a shitty little patch, but it looks leather. Like, and also this is I don't know why I'm holding like an idiot. Also on the back, often they can't embroider their back because their machines don't do it. So the fact that I could get Camo Crew junk removal embroidered, I like. The other thing is there was a company this weekend who took my logo, changed the color scheme on it, and used it on Facebook to promote, hey, we can print stuff for you. And I kindly sent them a Facebook message letting them know that my logo is trademarked and they can't use my logo for their promotional purposes. I'm not going to and it's like one of the local junk removal groups. I'm just irritated. Like, you made it look worse. If you made it look better, cool. However, like it's like it's trademarked like this. Like, don't fuck it up. So no, I do appreciate the gesture leading with, giving first, and then also not fucking up the logo, right? Like, and adhering to the color scheme because it's there and you didn't have to ask for it, which is also nice because now it's a more of a little surprise, a little, hey, how are you? So, Megan, how do we get a hold of you? Because for our listeners, right, you ship. Wait, are you guys a franchise or is this a one-off store?
We are our own entity.
Cool.
Our founder, Fred, who is our little Gator Garb mascot, Freddie, he started the company in '96. Started out of his garage as selling Packer apparel, tailgaters.
No big deal.
And that's kind of how it came to light. And it's grown into a ridiculously crazy good business for him and for the rest of our team. So you can go online. We do everything that you can put a logo on, really, except for maybe like a car wrap. That might be a little difficult, but you name it: pens, magnets, hats, company apparel, corporate gifts, anything like that. But you can go to our website, gatorgarb.com, and take a look at just some of the ideas that we've come up with throughout the years. It just kind of has a brief little snippet of what we do and what we've done in the past. But you can also get a hold of me. Just send me an email or a text. Andy shot me a text quickly this afternoon. So we're always happy to help to get ideas. We like to take your logo like we did for Andy and put together some creative things just to show what we can do, and then kind of wow you with that box to start the conversation. You might not like any of the hats. I know you're wearing one right now, but you might not fit whatnot. But it's just to show you what we can do and what options are out there, and to start that conversation like Andy did. So
I think your website's top tier, by the way.
Thank you.
You're already on it. He's
Awesome.
already.
I'm already there. Yeah, checking
He's
it out.
already
there.
See what she's all about.
Also, I would say on this panel, because we're now, I feel very, what is that? Around the horn today, right? Normally we have 3 and it's weirdly stacked up. So I feel weirdly around the horn. And if this was around the horn on the panel, I'm ranked 4 out of 4 when it comes to the marketing department. Barten's probably the number 1 guy. Barten is a marketing maniac. Casey's definitely a sales guy. Casey got the sales down. I certainly can do sales. However, Casey's he's a schmoozer. So we all bring our strengths. Mine is ops. You need things unfucked. That's where I come in. Like
So I just
operations.
noticed, Megan, are you at Andy's warehouse right now?
Was the green wall? You like the green wall or what?
Looks
Oh, that's fine.
identical.
I know my walls are all green. Yeah, like hers is. So do you remember my
A lot
Jeep?
of
My last
gators
Jeep?
in Wisconsin. A lot of gators.
So many gators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, CBS said it's the best tailgate in the country. No big deal. I don't know how they do it down there in not Dallas, because you guys are, out in like 3 hours, outside of the city, Dallas. I don't know where the hell they play. Certainly not in a Cowboys. You guys are, Jerry World isn't in Dallas.
Arlington. It's like 20 minutes south of Dallas. Arlington.
It ain't like Green Bay where you walk across the street and go in someone's backyard, right?
No,
That's how you
we have
tailgate.
Yeah, we have standards.
Also, I was at a Packers Bills game a couple of years ago. Those are, Packers fans are number 1. Bills fans are second tier. They are the number 2 fan base in the country. They are loud. They are rowdy. They are blue collar. They throw people through tables. Come on, let's go.
Well, so it's funny because I just happened to be in a Packer fan's office today. I'm in Jake's office right now.
Oh yeah. He's a Packer
Which
fan.
is why this stupid hat's here. This stupid jersey. So I told Jake, he's like, hey man, I gotta go run some errands because we're meeting because of our storage facilities and shit. And he's like, I'll be back in like 30, 45 minutes. I was like, okay, look, there may be a possibility that I will have to buy you a new jersey and a new foam hat. And he's like, why? I was like, because I'm this tempted to just burn that shit on live video of our podcast just to piss people off, man.
I mean, to be fair, it is a cowboy hat,
It is, I guess. Well,
here, look, and Taylor's over here. Taylor's over here playing with the new technology. I mean, it's not new technology, the ticker. We just haven't utilized it in the past. There we go. No big deal.
Megan, I missed this part. Are you up there local to Andy?
I'm in Altoona, so almost Eau Claire, basically Eau Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah, not. Yeah.
Here tells me you're north of Andy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess.
so the only reason I know where that is because I shot a TV show in Strum, Wisconsin.
What TV show was that?
Military Makeover.
Oh.
So I shot an episode up there in Strum, and I stayed in Osseo. And my favorite small town ever in America is up in that area. It's called Elva, ELVA, because it was where the grain elevator was, and they started writing elevator, and then the guy disappeared or died or something, never finished it. So there was this grain elevator that just was spelled Elva. So everyone's like, I don't know, go to Elva. And then they named the town after the grain elevator and then never got finished painting. And I don't care if that's true or not. That's my favorite story of all time.
I'm pretty sure it is because I've heard that same story. I walk or I drive through that town to get to my hometown, every month or something like that.
We'll leave it at this because eventually we do have to get to the update with Andy Barten. When did you see my trucks up there? That's more interesting to me. Like in the last month?
No, it's been a while because it took some time to get the hats made and things like that and boxed up and everything. So it was probably last fall by the time everything was said and done and I had everything put together.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. That makes sense. I was like, we haven't been up there in months. Yes, we have done a few projects. So we cover, we do projects for a couple of larger companies throughout the state. So, So also case in point, showing that, right. Little, redneck ingenuity, a little hillbilly math gets you a lot farther, right? See a truck, find the website, make hats, send them. Like this is where we'll be talking about marketing. Marketing does not need to be complicated. There's a simple process. If someone's willing to spend money to wrap a truck, they're probably willing to spend money to buy a hat. And if they're that proud of their logo, right, they put time, energy, and money into the logo. into the brand, into the design, into the fucking standards, into the color palette, right? They're probably your customer. That is the hillbilly math. And hats are a commodity. It is not this extremely relationship-based business like other potential relationships that we have. And so you can show that you got a better product and your service is on point, people will be willing to spend it because it wasn't on my radar, and now it's absolutely on my radar. And you gave me something with my logo versus give me something with your logo. If you gave me something with your logo, I'd be like, I don't care. I don't know who these Gator Garb people are. However, you gave me something with my logo, I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear this hat for the next 2 years minimum. So
good thing you have two of them.
It's true. And also the last piece is, for me, I love giving back to our guys. You gave me 5 pieces of swag to give back to our guys, right? So what do we do? Give one or two away, or like, hey, someone with the most reviews in a week, or someone that gets a shout out, or whatever. We have now incentives to give our guys. All right, Megan, any last words before we kick you off and get to business? You're also more than welcome to stick around if you want to jump in. I know you're
I would love to, but I've got to go get my kids. I just appreciate the time. And if you guys need anything down the road, or if you would pass our name along, that would be awesome. And go Pack Go.
There we go. All right, Megan,
Thanks,
you've been an awesome guest. Thank you so much. Andy Barten, let's get to you. Buffalo Bills. How about that win last night? Jared Allen pulling it off late in the game after some miscues earlier in the night.
I'll tell you what, dude. It's true Bills fashion every time. Thank God we won. Fucking guys. It's not easy, bro. It's not easy.
I started watching. So because my grandfather played for the Bills, and in the early '90s, the Bills were hot. It was real easy to be a Bills fan as a kid growing
Bills
up.
Bills and Cowboys, that was like the biggest rival.
Yeah. I mean, the Bills could never win. I don't know how much of a rivalry it was. It sucked. Anyhow,
we're trying to recreate it now too.
And you got the parts and pieces. You got one of the top receivers. You got the problem with your quarterback is he is either the best or worst on every single play. He is very Brett Favre-esque, right? It's like the guy can take off and run. He can throw the deep ball, and he can also throw ridiculous interceptions to the other team, just right at them.
Yeah.
Anyways, live or die by your quarterback. We got 3 of the best quarterbacks in the league right here with these 3 fine folks. Dak Prescott, it took him 12 years to finally get his shit together, but he's doing all right.
12 years.
How long is 8 years? 7, 8 years? He's been around.
16 was rookie year. He was a third stringer. Came in, took the spot, and was like, I'll take this and I'll hold on to it.
You could pull Roman off the bench like Falco, and he could probably outplay him. No big deal.
I will say this, I'll put this in the football space. A lot of people hate on Dak. I honestly, after last season, I was settled, and I was okay with replacing him. I was like, I think it's time. I think it's time we get rid of Dak. Yeah. After seeing him come back this year.
Oh yeah.
And I don't care about his stats. Honestly, stats they don't mean shit to me. But after seeing him settle down behind the freaking line, because last season he would just get nervous all the time and he would get sacked, throw interceptions. But this year he's been just comfortable and chilling. And if he has to move, he moves. But dude, he has that great relationship with CD, and the rest, like, shout out to Jake Ferguson handling in business. But
who's that? Your running back? I know Dak. I know, I still think of Des Bryant. That's how far back I go. The catch not catch at Lambeau.
Yeah. So we have 4 or 5 NFL leaders. I mean, Dak leads the NFL in touchdown passes. CeeDee Lamb receptions, and then you have Deron Bland, who was a backup. He led with interceptions, and he broke a record for pick sixes in one season.
All right.
I mean, that's pretty cool. And then we also have a badass kicker. But go Cowboys. Sunday's going to be great. I can't wait. Be nice.
And the Packers have 0 Pro Bowlers and the youngest team in the NFL to ever make the postseason. So we got a runway. We got a run, right? They
get to come to our house.
You know what? Here's the deal. This is a true Packer fan. This is a rebuilding year for us, and we still made the playoffs. That's the greatness of a 13-time
shitty division, though.
What are you talking about? The Lions? The Lions are the 3 seed. The Lions are good. Oh, the Bears and Vikings are terrible. Yeah, we've won 10 straight against the Bears.
Dude, the
Before hasn't
Eagles
lost
are in the
it.
playoffs. All right.
The Eagles lost to
Come
the Giants last night in terrible fashion, down
Dude, they
24
lost
points,
to
all
the
their
Giants,
starters.
and they lost to the freaking
Yeah.
the Skins Commanders.
Yeah, also,
Are you kidding
yeah,
me?
exactly. You guys beat let's not pretend like the Redskin Commanders are any good, who fired their coach 10 minutes
No.
after the game.
Not
Yeah,
at all.
don't
But
don't act like your
beat the
division's
Eagles.
that hot.
No,
The
not
Eagles
at all. We
started
have
strong. The Eagles and
it was just-
Jaguars started hot. Jaguars didn't make the playoffs. All right, let's get to business talk. Otherwise, this is going to be football talk, and listeners are
Yeah.
going to complain again.
That's true.
Andy Barton, tell us the market update. How did last year finish out? Where are things today, and where are things going to be in the next 90 days?
Well, I think last year on our side finished out strong. I think for most of the junk removal community nationwide, it finished off rocky. I don't want to say it finished
Yeah.
off bad. I think a lot of guys ended up with some pretty strong Decembers. But I think overall it was a lot of up and down, a lot of highs and lows.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's all marketing, man. It's the business is out there, the opportunity is out there, but you got to be willing to go and get it. And I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it again. Mediocrity, scared money. It is the arch enemy of small business, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, you also look at your business. What is your, my wife and I had a good talk about her business at the beginning of this year, right? Yesterday we sat for like 3-4 hours, just planned out some shit. It was supposed to be planning for both of us. It ended up being planning for her. And the reason why is because immediately off the get-go, she started saying things that puts her in the same position as last year. So we had to stop. And at first it was kind of frustrating because it's husband and wife. And when you're talking business, it's different. So I said, okay, look, I'm not mad, but let's just think about this. First, put down what you want, and then let's look at what your business needs, because I guarantee they're going to be two different things. And come to find out, her business, it was calling for more of something that she really wasn't marketing, but the demand was there. So she's like, huh. And I was like, why wouldn't you pour more, marketing and supply that demand that your business is calling for? Because it's a high value target. And if you can get more of those, like, you're gonna be sitting a whole lot prettier, and you have to do less legwork. So we started planning that, and I started thinking, I was like, a lot of junk businesses, they put their wants before the business needs, and they'll turn down some opportunities because they don't want to do it. Oh, I don't want to do that job. Well, shit, what does your business need? Because if your business needs it, but you don't want it, maybe you shouldn't be in charge. I know it sounds crazy, but
Yeah.
there's opportunities there that I think you have a biased opinion because you want the flashy shit to put all over Facebook so you can get a bunch of likes or on TikTok and say, look what I just did. When your business is like, yeah, look what we just did. We spent $100,000 doing it. And we made $98,000, but at least it looks cool on Facebook. So you just have to look at it. And, marketing is one of those things, I think, and Andy, you can back me up. I think marketing is something that is always evolving. And if you're not keeping up with the Joneses when it comes to marketing, you will be gobbled up quick, especially in today's climate when everything's going so far tech. If you're not ahead of it or even on pace, you're going to get smothered, man.
I do have a question for you guys. So speaking of what you want versus what your business needs. So one of the things that the one thing that came up, it comes up every couple months, and we look at it. It's nothing to do with marketing. I want to know how you handle this one in particular, Andy Barton. And anybody watching from home, please feel free to comment. How do you handle bed bugs and or cockroaches?
We actually just did one. I think you just have to prepare. You have to go in and you have to sell it. There's a lot of different conversations out there in some of these more legitimate Facebook groups. There's a lot of them that I think are crap, but there's a few pages running where I think you get decent information. But I think when you walk into a situation like that, you have to realize a lot of times you're dealing with hazmat, and there's a lot of opportunity to make extra money when it's considered hazmat. We just did a property. The person was arrested. The father was handling it. We ended up taking out 1.67 tons. Somebody wants to do the math, tell me how many pounds that is, but it's 1.67 tons of human feces.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot.
5-gallon buckets.
30, 32.5, 32.49.
And,
32, a lot. That's
a lot.
a shitload. A shitload.
So we went and looked at it. We ended up having to call in a septic company because they filled the tub to the brim. They used the toilet. The water had been shut off. They used the toilet till the toilet ran out. They filled the tub. Once the tub ran out, they started using buckets. And I think eventually they just gave up and started using the floor. But the fact of the matter is, somebody has to go in and do that job. I think there's opportunity in there. I do think you have to be smart. You have to be upfront. You have to be transparent with your team. We bid the job exceptionally high. I ended up spending about $600 or $700 on PPE. I spent another $300 replacing tools and equipment that we needed, and every other dollar got kicked back to the team. There's guys on my team that made $500 above and beyond their normal day there, and they were probably in that job for 2 or 3 hours. That's how I think you handle it. Yeah, you sell it appropriately. You make sure my trucks always have mattress bags. They always have the Tyvek suits. The guys always know up front what they're going into. Obviously, it's not a day-to-day thing we deal with all the time, so I always try to make sure they have the right of refusal. And I think one of the important things is we don't have it written down. It's not formalized in our company, but they know you take care of me, I take care of you. If you're going in there, we're going to make a little extra money. I'm going to make sure you're making a little extra money, and we treat each other all with respect. And we do a lot of money in that theater.
Yeah, so
I've actually gone as far as asking my team what they want to do. I give them all the facts. I say, look, this isn't going to be fun. You're going to hate every minute of it. You'll get paid more, but it's going to suck. Do you want to do it? If you want to do it, we'll do it. If you don't want to do it, I have no problem turning it down. The reason why, now, when it comes to nasty shit like that, yeah, that's a case by case, 100%. We had something similar, except it was a bunch of cats that overran a mobile home that the tenant died in. Little quick fact about cats. They are probably the worst and the most unloyal pet you could have, because once you die, that fucking cat goes straight for your head within 2 hours. I did not know that, but I did some research. And cats will immediately start eating you head first. Dogs will get sad for a while, and they'll only eat you if they're desperate. But anyways, there's about, 20-something cats in there. There was a dead body. And we bid the job after obviously the body was taken. And we bid it because they're like, oh, we don't want to demo this. And I was like, you are out of your mind. There's so much cat feces and urine in here. You can't recover from this. I even had a restoration company come out, a hazmat company. They said, look, we can clear all this out, but the smell is going to be there. It's in the walls. The only way you can do it is to do an interior demo down to the studs, but it's a mobile home. It'll be more expensive than just demoing it and have an empty lot to sell. It was for realtors. Anyways, we bid that job. It was insane, astronomical. They ended up turning it down, but I went to my guys and I told them everything, and I even let them go see it. And they're like, yeah, we'll do it if we can do A, B, and C and have this. So I guess what I'm saying is, personally, we turn down bed bug jobs because I don't want to take shit home with me on accident, or my guys. I just didn't want to mess with it. We've done it before the right way, but I just didn't want to mess with it. So I guess it's up to you. But I agree with what you said, Andy, because there's some people out there that will do it the wrong way, and it's disgusting just to get the job. And I'm like, if you really want that job, take it. I'm not going to fight with you over a shit job.
Well, and you won't keep your people.
No.
I think what you're saying is 100% great for me and the size of our business. It's really, we just did this one recently. It's not a time of year I'm turning anything down. I had some pushback for sure. Yeah. But we went off the side. We had adult conversations about it, and we figured it out. And listen, it's not in the job description. I had people that didn't want to be part of it, and that's fine. We found some other stuff for them to do. We had little jobs that needed to be handled anyhow, and we worked it out. And at the end of the day, I think everybody was satisfied with the results. The customer, me, and the team members here. I think everybody felt like they were treated well. Everybody thought they were compensated well, and on to the next one.
Yeah. So the one that we faced, I had my guys go look at it, do the estimate, and they came back. It was three apartments. We were told bed bugs, but it was bed bugs and cockroaches. 1 trailer in one apartment, 3 in one apartment, and 2 in one apartment, essentially, for 6 trailer breakdown. And they're like, hey, we could do the first one. It won't be great. The other 2, their answer was, we'll lose our entire team. And so that's where I really wanted to hear your perspective, which is not so dissimilar from mine. the difference is, and maybe I still have the opportunity. It was only on Thursday we looked at this one. To double back and see what's that.
I wonder if it's my RV park, because that's what me and Jake were meeting about. We have an RV. The tenant left December 1 because she was a hoarder, and there was a roach infestation. Thousands, dude. Of all the years I've been in this business, I've never seen that many roaches in my life.
Well, here's the So here's the thing: we got this lead from a guy that does bed bug abatement, and he goes, "We can't really abate this because I can't get it hot enough in the apartment because there's too much shit in the apartment. It'll be like it will never get to temperature this time of year." And the thing is, he's like, the reason I ask, he goes, I really need a dedicated crew. He goes, because I get 3 or 4 of these a month like this where I can't do anything. And he goes, the problem is he had a couple of dedicated crews at one point, or people he would call, but they all got into crime scene cleanup because there's more money in it. So it's like they went the extreme. And my decision-making matrix was simple. Will I do it? I have done it, right? I've done cockroach jobs. I've done bed bugs jobs. So I have done them. So it's not a question of, can I? Yes, I can. Would I be willing to? And that's where I pause and I'm like, yeah, I'm willing. Yes. I don't want to. Right. So that's what piqued my interest was like, all right, do we need it as a business versus what do I want to do? And again, I'm still in the middle of it.
Well, and I think to Casey's point, that's one of those things with what do you want to do? What do you need to do? I think there's a ton of opportunity in it. We don't go actively seeking them out, but I'm telling you, we do bed bugs on a pretty regular basis. We use those Tyvek suits. We use the gloves and masks. Nobody's ever come back and reported anything.
Yep.
And obviously I think you take that with a grain of salt too. I would consider myself responsible for that. If my guys went home and had bed bugs and brought them into their house, that'd be taken care of on behalf of the Barten brothers. No questions asked. But I like your matrix as well. Like if you're not willing to do it, then you shouldn't ask anybody else to do it. And I think that's a large part why my team walks in, because they know damn well. Like if I've said yes, they already know I'll do it.
And the thing, I would rather do human shit than bed bugs, because you're not taking the shit home with you. While bed bugs or cockroaches, you might be taking that home with you. Like that, right? That really. Yeah. So, and also people's background. I'm not just talking shit to say, oh, I would fucking do that. I worked at a medical waste treatment facility for waste management for about a year. So I've seen it. I've done the nasty shit. Even growing up and being around my grandparents' farm, like there's not that kind of stuff. Doesn't bother me. Bugs, that's where I drew the line. On this one, I drew the line. Again, I've done the bed bugs, but going cockroaches, I dislike cockroaches more. The smell of cockroaches gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Well, I think you incentivize it too. Make it worth your while and make it worth the team's while. If I do a bed bug infested mattress, it's almost guaranteed to be $400, and it's one of those things like I will walk away from it. That's what's going to cost me to go resupply my suits, make sure the guys have them. Sometimes if they run out, I got to go out to the job site and drop them off. And they get a couple extra dollars in their paycheck, for handling it.
Yeah, those are the jobs. There's no bargain. It's like this, take it or leave it. Because, well, this goes back to what you said, Andy. Like, here's how I look at that job. Are you going to be upset if you don't get the job? Let's say you price it, and they're like, "No, we're going to go with something else." Are you going to be like, "Fuck," or are you going to be like, "No, thank God"? Because
I would. If I would bid it, I would bid it to be cost prohibitive.
Right. So it's does your business need it? If you're desperate, if you're like, hey, if we don't get this job, we're done.
Correct. Exactly. I need engaged employees more than I need a couple $1,000s in profit.
Yeah, because you've done jobs. We've all done jobs where probably before halfway through, you're like, fuck. I either A, shouldn't have done this, or B.
Correct. Yeah, it's different when you don't know, right? Naivety, yeah. I can't claim naivety on this one. I know good and damn well what it is and how nasty it is. I'll tell you, when people are like, oh, the first couple of years in business, like, I don't know shit. I'm like, that's amazing time, because you don't know enough to know what not to do. I look back now, like, half the shit we did that we cut our teeth on, I wouldn't touch now. And we're still in business. We didn't die.
Well,
I know where the line is.
I mean, even now, like, so I messaged Taylor this. We could talk about this later, but I wanted to bring up demo. I have a demo starting tomorrow, a project. and it's a pretty good size, 3 mobile homes and a bunch of shit. But the nerves, I haven't felt that in my stomach in a while because I haven't done a demo in a while. And what's crazy is this is an easy, simple demo, but then I started realizing, no, there's no such thing, dude. All it takes is one fucking stupid thing to happen, and it changes the entire, trajectory of the job. And, it's another real estate deal. So where like I have to do this job for this, the buyer is paying me, but it's on the seller's property and it's not closed yet. So I have to get all this contracts drawn up, and they finally all signed it. And we just had a huge storm last night and today. It's just been nonstop raining. And I'm starting tomorrow. And I was like, you know what? I'm not on a time constraint. I'm going to take my fucking time. I'm not going to go ham and be like, yeah, I'm going to get it done in a day and a half. Fuck no. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to separate everything I need to separate. Not going to rush it because I have been out of the game for enough time to be like, look, if I'm not careful,
are you self-performing, or are you going to bring one of your operators in to run the back?
No, it's going to be. So I was going to bring Altman in, but he's actually busy. Good for him. He's doing some good shit right now for a cabinet maker. But I'm going to do it myself just because it's the property neighbors, the property I bought with the storage facility on it. And I was telling the guy, because he came to me, he's like, look, we're doing a land loan. The bank came back, said, in order for us to close, all this shit has to disappear because it's a land loan and there's a structure. And Texas has, it's called the VLB, Veteran Land Board. So you could get this loan and only have to pay 5% down up to $150,000, which is awesome. Normally you're at 20% down for land. So, but in order to be qualified, there can't be any kind of livable structures. Well, there's fucking 3 of them. So they're like, hey, it has to go. So now this kind of transformed, and the buyer, since we already knew each other because I bought the property next to him, he came to me. He's like, look, with your background, can you help me out? I said, yeah, but I'm going to be expensive because I'm not in the game anymore and I don't have equipment. So it's going to be expensive. But I'll tell you this, you know where I live. I know where you live. You know where I operate. So you can trust me. So he got back with me. He's like, look, my agent found someone they're about $3,000 cheaper. And I was like, all right, well, good luck. And he goes, oh, you can't match that. And I was like, I don't want to match that. I was like, I don't want to. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sure I make good money, or else I'm going to get sucked back into demolition. And next thing you know, next time we talk, I'm like, hey, I'm a demo guy again. So, then it came back to payment. Buyer, seller didn't want to budge. So the buyer's like, I have to pay for all of this, and I can't pay for all of it right now. I have to wait till we close. So I said, I'll make you a deal, man. Give me a lien, like give me something collateral on your property, and I will do half now and half after you close. So he gave me a fucking title to his truck in his garage, his old Dodge. It's worth good money. I mean, if you know anything with vehicles, but he trusts me, right? And I trust him. So I'm doing this job at $3,000 premium, mainly because he trusts me. Now, the reason I mention this is because the first thing I did, right, was I said, what do I need? Do I need this fucking job? Or do I want it? Because if I need it, I probably shouldn't do it, because when you act on something that has a high risk out of necessity, you tend to let your emotions kind of choose the direction you're going, because then you get biased. Like, hey, I need the money, so fuck, I can be okay with taking a little less here and a little less there. But if you don't need it, but you want to do it, you tend to do it a little bit better, at least how I feel. So I talked to Monica, and she's like, oh, fuck, you're getting back in the demo, aren't you? And I was like, no, I promise you I'm not. But I want to do this job. So I did. So I just think you have to look at it. What do you want? What does your business need? That's just plain and simple to me.
Well, we've talked about this a few times, but I want to get together and really do a SWOT analysis, because I think there's so much opportunity. I talked to a lot of these different guys across country in our space, and they have these highs and lows, man. Like I'm not telling you it's right for everybody. I'm not telling you what I did because I did it is right. I'm just simply throwing out the idea, but you got to decide what you're really doing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When the airplane came out, the railroads were the first industry with the opportunity to buy in, right? and they didn't want to buy in because they weren't in the airline industry. They were in the railroad business.
Mhm,
But they really
mhm.
weren't in the railroad business. They were in the transportation business, and their business went to shit. Like, dude, at the end of the day, I really think we're in a labor business. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely, 100%.
labor ready doesn't work, but
Mm-mm.
you have labor available and you have trucks. Well, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be careful how far down that rabbit hole you want to go. But at the end of the day, you're in labor. There's so much opportunity in ancillary construction. My guys today made a couple $1,000s. You know, we put down a vapor barrier and 2 inches of dirt. You know, is that junk removal? Absolutely not. Is it money?
No.
100%. And here in the Northeast, probably just like Wisconsin, Andy, like, dude, January is a month you fight through. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just looking for something to do every day, and these are skills that I think are really for the most part complementary. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to run a transit level and set a grade and just shovel some dirt in there for a couple hours, especially if they're going to pay you well for it. And there's not companies out there that specialize in that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know of them.
No, that is it. You have dedicated crews that can figure
Skilled
out
labor.
how to do something. It's skilled, right? It's skilled labor, but it's not skilled labor as in onesie twosie guys. It's skilled labor teams. That's interesting. And the other thing I like about that, because we have done jobs like that where we've essentially subbed out our guys to another GC or whomever. The other thing nice about it is they'll pick up tips and tricks on how to do this job that has nothing to do with junk removal and bring those best practices back. The other thing, Casey and I had this when we did our McDonald's job. There was these guys, these landscapers that helped us because we needed skilled labor. And the first day they're like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Because it's Texas heat in September. So it's a $105 outside and it's 60 degrees in these warehouses. And these two guys were like, oh my God, we could do this every day. This is awesome. They didn't show up the second day. They were so over it because again, they're like, oh, I just want to go do landscaping. So the guy that hooked us up with the guy, he's like, it ended up working out for him because it's like, all right, then you're not going to bitch about the heat. If you want a factory job, this is what a factory job is. Like,
well, and that's the thing is, how many times have I said this? Labor only jobs are the most profitable. At least in my
lowest risk.
And I love it because
lowest risk and by the hour.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is, I don't know how many of these, especially the commercial outlet property management jobs that we would do, the porter services. The reason I loved them so much is because I didn't have to bring a trailer. They didn't have to go dispose of anything. We were there for an hour, 2 hours. I charged what I needed to charge, and then they're on the road with no trash in their trailer, ready to hit the next job. And you make that consistent, right? So consistency over time. And next thing you know, you have a lot of profit off of a minimal job.
Yeah, I don't know if I get the sentiment. I don't know if I totally agree with it. But I do think there's opportunity in that space for guys with trucks and labor. Like, dude, I'll sell labor all day if I need it. You know what I mean? If I don't need it, it's a back burner thing. But you know, in one of your earlier podcasts, maybe it was the last one actually, Case, you had said you were talking about not itemizing your estimates. And like, I think that's 100% right, but that's where your profit is, right? Like, I'm making 15 or 20% of all my material. I'm making 15 or 20% of my dump fees. I'm making, you know, probably 65, 70% of my labor. But, you know, all that does have profit.
Right
you know
now.
what I mean? If you're managing it, you know what I mean? Like, I think the labor only jobs are really easy, especially if you're a good manager. You know what I mean? Like, and to that point, I think it's awesome for a small time guy with one truck. If you can go out and sell your couple hours of your labor, it's a home run.
Yeah, my two biggest markups are labor and concrete disposal. My two biggest markups. And the reason why, there's a fat margin and it's easy to accomplish because I will find the most efficient and cheapest way to get rid of concrete. At the same time, I pay my people well, but I charge way more. At the time when we first started, we were told we were going to go out of business because we paid our guys too much. We started out like 14, 15 bucks an hour for regular. And then we scaled up to like 17, 18. And the junk business, at least in Texas, you know, junk was hitting tens, $11 an hour. Junk King was at 12, you know, starting their people out. The only way they got away with it, like, oh yeah, we work 7 days a week. I'm like, great, you're still making $10 an hour. I don't give a fuck how many days you're working. That sucks. And I noticed that I also charged 150 bucks an hour for two guys. Everyone else was like 110, 95, 87. I'm like, fuck that. If I'm going to give two of my people away for an hour or more, it's going to be 150. Otherwise, I'll have them in a truck doing other things, making more money. Never had an issue with it. So, yeah, my two biggest markups.
Where it is. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's opportunity cost.
Yeah,
and I think that's that's another great topic to go down a rabbit hole on sometime. But dude, it's not, you know, your margins averages, you know, you're hitting home runs sometimes, you know, most of the time you're hitting singles. You got to take that money where you can get it. And that's where I think a lot of guys they struggle, man. Like doing something over doing nothing is almost always worth it, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah. Rarely are you losing money on jobs, right? Now, you might not make the margin you need to offset your fixed costs, especially if you have high fixed costs. I live in a high fixed cost world because I have a 30,000 square foot facility and 10 trucks and salaried employees. So it's a little bit different. And yet when we're out banging jobs, money's coming in. If we're sitting back here reorganizing the warehouse, battle planning, yeah, it's good. A couple hours, a day or two a week. Can't be 5 days in a week though. Like we got to have money coming in. And even when we are doing jobs, like we're doing a job right now in Chicago, we got to eat an hour and 15 minutes getting down there every day. It's like, well, once we're down there, we got to commit to grinding, right? Like, yeah, okay, so we're losing, right? It's 2.5 hours every day I'm paying, full labor on. But yeah, once we get down there, we can grind, and then it makes it worth it. I'm still making money.
Well, yeah, and the alternative is your guys aren't working at all. And then yes, maybe you're saving money until they leave you, and then you're fucked, like
correct. Exactly. That's the other thing.
That's the game.
Now, in July, I'm not taking this job. In January, absolutely. In January, I want to make sure my guys are, staying working. The trucks are being exercised. We're taking care of our customers because we also need those customers to come back over. So yeah, it is. It's the time where you're taking chances.
It's also something to say that, we talked about this before. When you hit a slow season, I don't care who you are. I mean, Andy, you said it too. January, you start having to fight more, right? That's called a slow season. Regardless, if you drop any kind of revenue or production, it's slow. Now, in my opinion, I told this every year, especially, a few years ago, we had a huge storm come in, and Texas isn't designed for snow and ice. It's just not. No. And we were down a lot because there's ice. And I told my guys, look, I will not lay you off, but if you can be patient with me, I promise you I will do everything in my power to keep jobs booked. And if you can weather the storm, I'm still here. Your position is still here. If you have to leave and get another job in the meantime, I understand, no blood loss, whatever. And I never laid off people because of my own actions, right? If I wasn't doing something proactively enough to keep my guys going, why am I going to punish them for it? So that helped me a lot because it would happen. You'd have people say, hey, look, I'm going to get a part-time job over here, blah, blah, blah. A month or two goes by. They call, hey, how things going? We do, we're slammed. Oh, sweet. Can I come back? Fuck yes, please. Because they understood, right? And if you're honest with them, you communicate with your people, then I promise you dude, Gary Vee is the best one. I used to think he was he was a little off, but dude, he's on target, man. If you treat your people, your team, like you treat your business, because they are your business, then they're going to treat it the same way, or they'll treat you better, right? That's just the biggest thing in my book. Treat them like you want to be treated. If you were working for that person.
100%. And that's my argument. That's, kind of even the next step in my thought process is, dude, what the guys want to do, they don't want to do junk removal necessarily. They want to go to work. They want to have a steady income. They want to have something that's reliable and consistent, and they want to have a place where they feel valued. And that's why I think there's, you guys have seen my shirt, right? Like look at what I got on there. What junk removal, demolition, site work, and fencing. Maybe I should add a couple more. Dumpsters aren't on there. But it's
Barten Bros Coffee.
Yeah, that's it. But dude, at the end of the day, the guys want to go to work. And like for me to teach them how to do fencing is not difficult. Mm-hmm. The demolition side of it, we started out with interior demo. I think almost all the junk guys are doing that. The jump to exterior demo was not massive. Mm-hmm. We spent a little time being careful, training ourselves. Giving guys probably a little better deal than they should just from inexperience, but it keeps my guys going every day. And that to me, I think is what allows you the opportunity to be successful. And that's, I think partly some of the reason I'm returning to your show every time, because there's guys, how many of the listeners out here are working 3/4 of the time or less?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think a lot of our listeners, they've reached out to us, but a lot of them, they're still in that phase of what do I do next? Maybe they need to hire, maybe they need to grow, but they don't know how. Look, man, I didn't know how to fucking run my own business, and somehow I'm doing it. Now what do I do?
So
And-
I don't know if I love the how. I think they're just, I'm going to say scared for lack of a better word. I don't mean that to be insulting.
Yeah.
But this world drives me crazy, dude. Like, go buy the damn trucks. I can't say it enough times. Put your money where your mouth is. Go buy the damn trucks, and I guarantee you figure out. Andy, how do you figure it out?
Because I bought the truck.
Away, do they?
No, I bought the truck before I had the work, right? And I bought the truck before I had the money. I tell people the story all the time when it came to the Hummer, the first truck we bought. We had given them a check for $5,000. I borrowed $5,000 from my brother, and I sent them 5 checks post-dated, $1,000 a piece, 1 month at a time. Beginning in August, September, October, November, December, 5 checks for $1,000. That was I couldn't get a loan, and I didn't have the money, and I didn't know where the money was going to be. And I told them, hey, send me the truck, send me the title. I'm going to send you 5 checks. And I also told my brother, hey, I'll pay you off by the end of the year. And then the money came, right? Because you already got the deficit. You already got the asset. Now it's time to fucking go. I remember the first time we got
fast the motivation shows up once you get some money.
I remember the first time we got what do you call it? Quarterly taxes for our employees. And I was like, what is this shit? What do you mean I owe money? They paid it in. What do you mean? I remember it was like $4,000. I told my brother, we were about ready to close shop. We're like, we ain't got $4,000. What do you mean $4,000?
Dude, we didn't charge sales tax an entire first year in business.
I remember that. Well, we don't have service tax. You guys have a service tax. Sales tax.
It's Texas
no,
State.
It's not. It's different.
8.25%.
I know, but it's a different number. It's a different number.
We've talked about the same in New Jersey. Services are applied sales tax the same way as products.
Same thing. Sales tax.
I don't.
Anyways, we didn't know
something.
We went a whole year, didn't know we had to pay it or charge it. So guess what? We got a nice bill from the state. First year of business, man. That sucked ass.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's so. Yeah.
8.25.
I'm gonna look this up.
Look it up.
Look that shit up.
The state of Texas has a 6.25% sales tax. Now, your counties or cities might add to that.
It's 8.25 everywhere. It sucks. They add to that too.
Oh yeah, they're going to be added. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the Texas.gov. Yes, 6.25%.
That's gotta be a federal site, bro. That's got to be a federal site.
Texas.gov. I'm the guy that does the data. I do the research. Okay, I don't make shit up. That ain't what I do.
I'm just saying. I think you gotta be on a state website, bro.
I'm on a .gov.
.gov is feds. Is it .tx, .us, whatever the fuck it needs to be?
It's comptroller.texas.gov.
All right, well, fine.
Yeah,
That's not Texas.gov. I agree.
Oh my God. Oh my, you people.
I'm on board. Tell Casey he's fucked up.
Just because Casey's exaggerating his issue doesn't mean
Texas state sales tax.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Comptroller.texas.gov, new sales tax rate locator, state in use tax. That's what it's called. State in use tax. 6.25%. Texas imposes. I mean, what are we doing here?
They impose a sales and use tax up to 2% on top.
Great.
So
Local, yes, local taxing jurisdictions. I understand that. That's your local. I'm telling you, Texas is 6.25. Your local area does another 2%. Maybe you go out by Odessa.
Okay. What I'm saying is combined is 8.25.
I'm not arguing
that. Was my point.
That. Oh, okay. Your point has been heard. Let the record show that Casey was wrong about his 8.25 tax. It's not. It's 6.2. The 2% little bumpy bump. You go out to Midland, Texas, they ain't got that 2%. They got that oil money out there. I've been on Midland, Texas. Terrible place. Do not recommend.
7%.
Do not recommend.
Midland,
we ain't got
Texas,
that in Wisconsin.
7%.
Did it say that actually?
Yeah.
See, I wasn't lying. See,
that's minimum. The minimum combined
sales tax. You people got no respect for my hustle, no respect for my game. I've been to Midland. I knew the tax wasn't that much. I flew in there once on purpose. I left on purpose.
Dude, we just had an explosion in Fort Worth, downtown building.
What is this? The news hour? Are you gonna read the fucking sports scores next?
No, it just
Green
popped
Bay
up.
Packers over the Bears, 17-9 at historic Lambeau Field in the 200th meeting of the whatever. Fucking Packers Bears all time. Packers are the winningest team in NFL history and have more victories against the Bears. I think any other team in history. That I could be pulling out of my ass. I want to see which I'm gonna Google it right now. Which NFL
I'm on here right now.
team
Taxes.gov.
most wins?
My goodness, that's insane, dude.
Oh, actually, here we go. Oh man, this is interesting. Two
Natural
teams.
gas.
Here it is. Here it is. The New York Football Giants have 107 wins against the Commanders. The Packers have 106 wins against the Bears. Then the Bears have 105 wins against the Lions, and the Packers have 104 wins against the Lions. So of the top 4 teams that have most wins against another team, Packers are on there twice. Also, because I'm fair in my stats, very fair man here, right? No one's ever accused me of being not fair. Let me hold on a second. Let me share my screen again. All right. Also, the Bears hold the 4th spot against the Packers with 94 wins. Also, the Packers rattle off 10 straight because at one point the Bears, like the 80s, the Bears had way more wins than the Packers. So there you go. Giants, Commanders, most wins against one team. And it was like, I mean, it was the Giants, the Redskins, the Packers, and the Bears, and the Cardinals, I think, are the most teams, anyways. Also, the Giants beating up on the Eagles. I don't see the Cowboys on here. I don't see the Bills on here. No, nothing.
How many
Nothing
Super
like
Bowls the Packers have?
13-time world champion Green Bay
That wasn't the
Packers.
question.
13-time world champions. The first 2. What's the name of the trophy? 4 Super Bowls all time. And then
So it took
trophy
a lot of games to win, to only win 4 Super Bowls. Was that very efficient, Andy?
Doesn't sound efficient to me.
You're a data guy.
Hold on. Oh for 4 consecutive years by the Bills. I don't know that Andy Barton. No Super Bowls for.
I've told you before. Just look at that. See that? That's my stockholder certificate right
I know.
there.
I don't even have one of those. I kept my $250.
Fucking Jordan Love answers to me.
I keep forgetting about that stupid stock cert, man.
Hey,
Dude, you get that off
it's all for my LinkedIn profile, dude. Junk removal and professional football team owner.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say founder of the Green Bay Packers, but I'm thinking about it.
Not a founder.
No, you weren't there. Also, that's
a
like
founding member.
Founding member, maybe. Shane Gillis does a bit. He's like, if you look at my resume, I have an amazing resume. So Shane Gillis, the comedian, he was accepted into West Point to play offensive line. So he's like, if you look at it, I attended an Ivy League school. I'm a combat veteran because he got his, national service. He joined during wartime, right? And and I played for and I played on Division I football. From a resume perspective, I look pretty hot. He also quit West Point like his first month there. Like I didn't think he got to class. I think he quit during what do you call it? Football training, summer workout. So there you go. Resume doesn't tell the whole story. Also, Shane Gillis, amazing comedian. So on a side note,
he's limited. Like I'm still waiting to kind of hear some new stuff from him. Like he's funny.
Yeah, you're right. I've heard the same 6 bits.
Yeah.
I like him, but yeah, he needs maybe some fresh stuff. Also, something's going on with Cat Williams. He's one of my favorite all times, and I guess
he's a G unit, dude. He's calling people out.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not on the Twitter. I randomly also on Facebook today, people were defending Cat Williams, and I'm like, of all people, why do we have to defend Cat Williams? And then someone's like, I can't believe what they're doing to Cat. And I was like, I don't know what they're doing to Cat, other than laughing at because he's fucking funny.
Well, Shannon Sharp has his own podcast.
And
he's been doing it for like a year, right?
Yeah.
And the most he ever got was like, he got like 5-6 million views over a span of like 10 months, 12 months with all these other people like Steve Harvey, NFL players. Cat Williams comes on, speaks the truth, and within 24 hours gets 10 million views.
Wow.
So it blew it up.
I don't particularly like Shannon Sharp. I will. Yeah, I like Cat Williams. Anyways, all right. Well, we will not belabor this. It's been an hour. We've had the podcast. We've talked. We talked to Meghan with Gator Garb, Grab Gators. Modeled after the Green Bay Football Packers back in '96 when the Packers did win the Super Bowl. Again, no big deal. Have the Cowboys even won a playoff game since '96?
Yeah, just haven't made it to the second game.
No, they won one they won that bullshit game last year.
2 years
ago. No, the Niners, was that last year or 2 years ago when they won that game? Okay. When they won that game when the Niners basically like a punter out there playing quarterback by the third quarter.
Dude, at that point in time, we'll take where we can get it, man. You know?
Hey, I still remember Romo fucking up the snap in the Seahawks game.
I know.
For the field goal from the 2-yard line. Old Romo. Although, you know what? I don't like CBS for the most part. Romo calls the best football games. I think we're going to be stuck with fucking Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on Sunday, which are the absolute worst two announcers. They hate the Packers. They loathe the Packers. They love the Cowboys. So it'll be an annoying 4 hours as we whoop up on the Cowboys. Andy Barton, let's go around the horn. Top takeaways from today going into 2024.
I think in the future, you should schedule a podcast and we let people send in decisions. Give us your spreadsheet. We're going to put it together. I want to do a math or no math contest. I want to see how many times you say yes versus how many times I say yes. Can we do that?
Yeah. What do you? All right, let's dive to.
If they want to buy something, they want to invest in something, they want to spend their money.
Yeah, break-even analysis. But yeah, financial decision-making. Oh, yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, send the math and have us debate it, and we'll give you an answer. We'll give you the panel, the 3-person panel will give you an answer.
Like or not like.
Yeah. 100%. I don't even think I'm going to look at the spreadsheet.
Well, that's the thing is.
I would only look at your business. Yeah. All right, Casey, what was your top takeaway?
Yeah, my top takeaway was go Cowboys, and you have to really understand you're a business owner. You have to put your business before yourself. I know it sounds selfish, but you have to look at what your business calls for, because as we've seen, and this is a quick example real quick, there's a barbecue joint down the road. And great
comes
place.
Back to food.
What was that?
Always comes back to food.
Yeah. But it's true, though. This barbecue joint, it's been this little town called Trophy Club. It's been there forever. It's great. Everyone loves it, right? It was doing awesome. It has 2 locations. The location in Grapevine has a lot of blue-collar workers. It's on a main thoroughfare, so everybody stops there during lunch, whatever. Recently, about 6-7 months ago, a new barbecue joint entered the realm and parked about a mile down the road in the same town. It's better, tastes better, and it's nicer and it's newer. There's been a huge decrease in business for the original barbecue joint for their brick and mortar. Their restaurant's not doing good, not at all. But their catering is actually doing better than it's been the whole last year. Their marketing last year was very desperate type marketing. As in, when I say desperate, I mean they were doing things they've never done before, so it wasn't being done right. A lot of the videos they were posting, a lot of the video testimonials they were posting, it wasn't done very well. It's because they were kind of reaching and grabbing, which I understand. But I looked at it and I was like, okay, you have a barbecue joint here that got hit hard because competition came up down the road, but your catering is doing phenomenal. So at this point, you have to look at it. What's your business calling for right now? For this location, your business is calling for catering. What if I were to push more marketing and effort into my catering services rather than trying to fill up my restaurant and fight my next door neighbor who's doing better and they're newer? Me personally, I think if you have 2 locations and one of them's doing great and the other one's not doing so well, you lean on that catering aspect of it because your overhead's so high. Yep. And it would make more sense to go further into that catering route and not have to worry about making even in your brick and mortar. So it just had me thinking, man, like, what does your business call for? And, you know, right now, if you're in junk removal and you're in the northern part of the country, you're getting a lot of snow and ice. You have to stay relevant. Hey, people, I'm out. I'm still out here. I'm still looking for business. Hell, Barten, you said it best, man. Money's money. If my business needs it, I'm going to do it. If your business needs money, then do it. That's my takeaway.
It's all special teams, baby. Be ready to punt. Be ready to return the ball and fucking win the game.
No, and I would say that this one thing, you know, people always say like, "Hey, what do you do when it's slow?" I say, focus on junk removal. Focus on junk removal. Focus on junk removal. Right? And I'm not gonna go after snow removal, all this other stuff. Now that's very different and complementary to when someone calls and you got an opportunity. Okay, I didn't put any effort into it. I'm not going to go.
Andy, quick question: if you got 30 calls in a week for snow removal and it was consistent.
Oh, they call.
You would actually start to think about this.
Correct, because they're calling me. Correct, because I never turned down an inbound call, right? And also, I'm talking this time of year. I haven't changed what I do. I still only offer basically 3 SKUs: residential junk removal, commercial junk removal, and demolition. Those are my 3 SKUs. However, I'm willing to go a little bit farther. I'm willing to work with you on price. I'm not getting into landscaping or anything else, right? I'm not putting effort into it. If someone called me today and was like, "Hey, can I pay you to do this thing?" And I think to myself, no different than that restaurant, right? I have the resources. I have the assets. Okay. They realize, right? It's not, okay, we were a restaurant. Oh, no. What do you guys have for assets? Well, we got a building. We got employees. We got good recipes. They ain't great. They ain't great because our competition's great and they're taking our customers. Okay, well, what can you do with that? Doesn't matter what you started as or what your plan was. What can you do today? No different than me. If I got a phone call today that said, "Hey, we need you to haul some stuff with 24-foot trucks with lift gates," I'd be all over it. No, I'm not going to go spend a week and $5,000 in advertising on Google AdWords to go find that work. However, if the work comes to me, right? And that's why when that Bud Bugs job came to me, I wasn't looking for it. Ran into a guy. He said, "Hey, would you be interested?" I said, "I'm interested." And then I evaluated it and I've decided against it. However, because I didn't put any work into it. So that's where I want to make sure our listeners know. They won't, that way people aren't like, "Oh, I thought you said always stick with junk removal." No, stick with it as your focus. When the phone rings, that's opportunity. Every time that phone rings is an opportunity. So focus on junk removal and take the work that's available when it's available.
I think you're 100% right, Andy. And I think that's important to go over. I have nothing but disdain for spreadsheets, but at the end of the day, that is where I think the spreadsheet is useful. Is, you know, you got to know where your margins are, man. Like junk removal is still your best margin. Out of everything I offer, it's still my best margin. The other services I offer ancillary are because of the size and scale of the business.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I could do more junk removal if I want to spread the geography out. Otherwise, you know, I think with the amount of marketing and advertising we've done and how much market share we own in this area, that might just be as big as the junk removal business is here. So then you got to decide, what do you want to do? How do you want to go about making more money? Do you want to offer more services? Or do you want to expand your geography, or do you want to do both? Or you want to do neither and you're happy with where you're at? You know, any of those answers are acceptable. But I think you're much closer in line with what I recommend is, dude, like, you don't have to go out and focus on advertising something else, but don't turn down opportunity if you have the ability to do it.
Yeah. So that's my top takeaway. Focus on junk removal, focus on building your junk removal business. And if you're so lucky and fortunate that someone calls you, wants to hire you to pay you to do something else, explore it, right? Minimal investment. Don't go out and buy all the tools and equipment to go do one job to break even, to in the hopes that maybe you get another one. There you go. There are your top takeaways. This has been your quarterly Andy Barten update. We will have another episode with him. I do love this idea. So shoot us an email, shoot us a text. Let us know what decisions you are struggling with us or with, and we would love to war game those. We'll bring you on, have you explain your situation. Definitely prep it ahead of time. Give us some numbers and data because that's what I'll look at. And then from there, we can help you with those decisions that you are facing in 2024 and beyond. As always,
they turn them in. We gotta vet them and approve them.
Oh, great. Yeah, turn them. Yeah, great. Bring it in. Yeah, yeah. This is right. This is you got to do the homework first. We're not going to bring on random people to be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about this job. Well, how would you price it?" We ain't doing that shit. I ain't defaulting the lowest. Yeah, $10. All right. As always, I was about to do the big finish and then I got interrupted. I'm Andy Weins. He's Andy Barten. and always Casey Bubba Lawrence. We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Tap subscribe or follow to get the latest episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a review and tell a friend to listen. To learn more, visit trashtalkbusinesspodcast.com. Bye now.